As dawn breaks over the Mozio-otunya National Park, the new day signals a new beginning for David Youldon and his team. After months of preparation, a special delivery has arrived at the park.
It's just gone 6 a.m. here, and frankly we're all looking a bit tired because this vehicle only arrived at 3 in the morning, and it contains 7 lions. We need to offload them into their enclosure before it heats up, because it does look as though today is going to be a scorcher.
Zambia is home to 10 captive-bred lions raised by human handlers as part of a radical conservation program. Today, 7 new lions will join them. On the lorry are 2 adult females brought to the park to start a breeding program. Also on board are 5 young cubs, ready to start their journey towards eventual release.
Morning. Hope you're feeling strong.
Today is a huge day for the whole team. Operations Manager Richard Leach coordinates the project staff and volunteers.
We're going to offload them. We're going to have 2 or 3 lion handlers come and assist us, but it is going to take you guys to help, all right? The most important thing is to keep it level. If you tend to tilt it, that is when the lion will panic and will start hitting the side of the cage, all right? So it is vitally important that it is kept flat no matter what. 1, 2, 3, up.
First to be unloaded are 5-month-old sisters, Bisa and Bemba.
Keep it level. Wow. Take that one. You won't be able to get it through the gate, but just bring it right up to the gate.
It's just so exciting. A lot of hard work from a lot of people, whether it be Zambian or lion encounter, just so much hard work, and it's just been absolutely incredible. So yeah, eagerly awaiting this moment, eh? So let's move back a little bit, give them some space. 1, 2.
Showing no sign of fear, Bisa is the first to come out.
Hello. Bisa has a very curly tail, which is going to be very helpful as she grows older in identifying her.
Followed by her more tentative sister, Bemba.
Hello. Just to help them settle in and start to feel a bit familiar, I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes in with them now.
All the new lions should be used to people. They were owned by a family in South Africa and were raised by human handlers.
Hello. Although we've obviously spoken to their previous owners, we couldn't be 100% sure exactly how confident they were with people. But they're already coming up and greeting, and they seem nice and confident and calm. So I think we'll leave them to settle in for a bit and see what's in the other crates.
Just put them on the side there, guys. Okay. Make sure they're on level ground, hey?
Next are 3 older cubs, 10-month-old sisters Ruma and Rufiji, and their brother, Rwanda.
Keep it level. And those 2 also need to come just next to these, please. Now, what we've seen from the 2 young ones is that they're already quite friendly, quite confident. That might not necessarily be a good thing when it comes to a lion that's the size of the one in here, because if they're over-affectionate, then they could, come rushing up and, all terribly excited, and you could get hurt by accident. So I'm expecting they're going to want some love. Talkative, that's for sure.
First out is brother Rwanda.
Hello. Yeah, go. Let's just come up behind.
Next is sister Rufiji.
Come on.
Come on.
Just take it straight all the way up.
Up.
Yeah. Good girl.
And lastly, Rumour.
Oh, there we go.
They're over here. They've got a few nicks that they've obviously picked up from the bars inside the cage. You can see on the male's nose is a bit bloody, but that'll heal very quickly. Hello.
The cubs are unsettled by their new surroundings, so they seek physical reassurance from each other and the handlers.
Hello.
For now, David must leave the cubs in peace, but he'll return later to start bonding with the new arrivals. The last two lions are adult females.
Take it. Wait. Fingers. Right. Off you go, David.
For them, the journey isn't over yet. They're going to live at the project's other site, 10 kilometers away in the Zimbabwe forest. The two females will play a key role in Zambia's first breeding program.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, a bit more.
For now, they'll share an enclosure with each other, but in time they'll be introduced to a male so they can breed.
Down, slowly. Right, release of the adults in Zambia.
It's the right side, yeah.
4-year-old Subi is reluctant to come out.
I can see a bottom. It's definitely breathing.
Come on.
Come on.
Right at the back.
But some gentle persuasion
Come on.
gives her a nudge in the right direction. And she heads straight for the safety of a tree. And Yika quickly follows.
And it's just gone. Wow. Wow. They look in good nick. Both really beautiful features. So, yeah, this is a huge move forward for the program.
Just so excited to see the lions. They're so happy in the enclosures. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I was just feeling a bit spaced out at the moment. It's been a couple of hard days' work, but this is just priceless. And I don't think many people get this opportunity in their lives, so we're really, really fortunate.
We've achieved a lot this morning, with most of us only on 2 hours sleep. Yeah, I have no idea what time it is. I'm tired and I'm hungry, but I'm happy, so that's all we need.
Six lions of the Zambian pride were moved to Zimbabwe just 3 days ago. Their enclosure is surrounded by a huge release site, 900 acres of prime habitat that will eventually be their home. Alpha male Zulu is the pride leader. He's the biggest and strongest of all the lions. Lazy Toka is his sidekick. He spends most of his time sleeping or eating, while the 4 females form the heart of the pride. David wants to make sure the move hasn't unsettled the pride, so he's going to observe the lion's behaviour at feeding time.
The process today is really quite simple. We've already moved the Zimbabwe 6 into the neighbouring enclosure. We've placed the meat here in this enclosure, and then there's a slide gate between the two, and when we're all ready and in position, we'll open that and they'll all come charging across here and start feeding. I'm going to bring a vehicle in, stay on the back of it, obviously, and just be able to observe, because it's only a few days since they were darted, which is quite a stressful thing for the lions, and obviously the move up here. So it just gives us a chance to check in and make sure they're all doing okay.
The lions in Zulu's pride are nearly 2 years old. At this age, it's not safe for David to stay on the ground while they're feeding.
Come on.
Toka and the females are first to the carcass, while alpha male Zulu takes his time.
The girls arrived first. That's because, you know, they're just generally faster than the boys. Zulu really took his time to wander over, and maybe that's just because he's so confident in his larger size than the rest that he knows full well he's going to get his food. He doesn't have to rush for it. In a wild pride, this is exactly what you would see. The group settle down all around, they get their spot at the carcass and will just happily feed next to each other. You only really get aggression if it's a smaller carcass. There are always going to be the occasional squabbles. While pulling away one piece, you start to pull on another lion's bit that they've got, then they're going to defend it.
The pride eats peacefully, reassuring David that the stress of the move hasn't caused any lasting problems.
Now that this pride has been moved to downward forest and we can see they're perfectly healthy, the next stage is to open the gate and let them out into this huge release area that we've created for them. They'll go out at night, which is when the natural time for lions to hunt is. And that is the final part of the process before they're ready for a full release and they have to look after themselves.
In Zambia, David Youldon and his team work with captive-bred lions. Raised by human handlers as part of a radical conservation program, the lions are encouraged to develop the skills they need to survive so that their cubs can be released into the wild. It's a process that starts early. 10-month-old Rwanda and his two sisters arrived here yesterday from South Africa.
Hey.
Today, David is going to start bonding with the cubs so he can work with them safely.
Hello. All the sounds that you can hear is all just a social greeting. They're just excited to see someone.
The journey has left the cubs a bit worse for wear. Rwanda has suffered some grazes to his face.
All of this is just an unfortunate side effect from the actual move. When they get stressed a bit in the cage, they can thrash around, and unfortunately they can get small nicks. Yes. But they will heal. You really are very noisy, aren't you? The noise this morning, and particularly given the amount of it, is really all about, you know, love me, love me, love me. And that's because they're out of their usual environment. Everything is new around here, so they're looking for security and reassurance. And what is nice is that simply just by greeting them back, spending a bit of time with them, you can see they've calmed down really quickly.
Rwanda seems confident and relaxed, but his sister Ruma starts to display some unusual behavior.
What are you doing?
She tries to suckle on her sister, a sign that she could be feeling insecure.
I've never seen a cub simulate suckling. The urge to do it seems to be really, really strong. And actually if I'm touching her, she's giving me a noise and the ears are going back. She's getting extremely protective over this. So in terms of her security being around us, this is really what we're going to have to try and work on. I'm not worried about this at all. She has shown that she's quite affectionate, so she already understands the bonds that we need. It's just a question of trying to help her not need to do this, which will take an awful lot of patience.
In the enclosure next door are 5-month-old sisters Bemba and Bisa.
Bisa is this one here. She's just slightly bigger and has a curly tail. And then you've got Bemba, a little smaller and very spotty. They're all just paws and teeth and claws everywhere. And that's perfectly normal. But it's just constantly trying to reinforce certain boundaries. So if there's a claw comes out, just, you know, smack the claw. This is the only training that we give them, okay? The only thing is the boundary of how they interact with us.
Bisa is the feistiest cub. She's determined to test David's patience.
Can I have it there? What was that for? She doesn't know me well enough, and she's protecting that stick. It's as simple as that. But again, I need her to understand that I'm more dominant than her, and that if I want the stick, then she's going to have to give it up. What I'm looking for is a sign of submission, which is usually given just by blinking like this. This is mine now. Now, one thing is they've now stopped being around me. Part of that is because I've disciplined them both and they're going to have a bit of a sulk. But a really important thing is when I come back tomorrow, they will actually have a greater respect. The discipline actually creates the respect, and that's what we need. I think you might be quite a headstrong little lady that we're going to have to watch for, eh? Quite a little headstrong girl.
The cubs aren't the only new arrivals at the park. 2 adult females were also brought in, and they'll play a key role in Zambia's first ever breeding program.
Hello, girls.
They live at the Dambwa forest site, and David has come to see how they're settling in.
Good to properly meet you. This is Nika. She has a slightly dark nose, and her friend, possibly her friend, growling a bit. I think they're just getting jealous of each other. This is Subi. Hello. They are being extremely vocal at the moment. All of that is just coming up and saying hi. They are used to some human contact because they have always been in captivity. But hello. But yeah, this is a lot of just saying hello. Good girl. Have a sniff. There we go. At the moment, our programme, in terms of its longer-term future here in Zambia, needs to import lions because we don't have a breeding program where we're able to produce our own cubs. So these females really are the start of that. The next part is to find a suitable male, and obviously looking at the genetics to make sure that our breeding group is as genetically diverse as possible will ensure a strong genetic group. Will you be quiet? Will ensure a strong genetic group for future release prides. Hey, beautiful. I had to find you a particularly handsome male.
Today, 2 of the new cubs, 5-month-old sisters Bemba and Bisa, will leave their enclosure for the first time, under the watchful eye of David and the handlers.
Okay, kids. Bisa's feeling a little cheeky this morning, so she's definitely on the naughty side. And here comes little Bemba. Hello. So, kids, how do you feel about going outside? We'll take that as a yes. What we'll do is we'll just head towards the gate, call them. Hopefully they'll follow. That's about as good as the plan gets, really. Come on.
David is still getting to know the cubs, but Bisa seems to be the boldest sister. True to character, she leaves the enclosure without question.
Bisa's the first one out, which is no surprise to me at all. She's clearly a confident and independent cub. And just watching her now, she's just having a sniff, just starting to investigate. Hey, little one.
Back in the enclosure, Sister Bemba seems a bit confused.
Bemba hasn't quite worked out where the gate is. This is exactly what I'd expect. To start with, it's mayhem. And here comes Bemba. There we are, there's your sister. Right.
The sisters aren't confident enough to go far. They keep their enclosure in sight, and stay close to the handlers for reassurance. But they do start to explore, and it's not long before they catch the scent of one of nature's most unpleasant aromas.
Ah, poo, yes. The lion cub's favourite, elephant poo. It smells great. I mean, they just love it. They'll eat it, roll in it. It's like catnip. To you and me might not be, you know, the big wow factor. It's not something you'd like for Christmas. But for them, lion cubs absolutely love it. This is really quite a reaction. It's not normally this strong, but I think this is based on this is the first time ever. And that's the thing here. There's going to be an awful lot of firsts for them. Right, are you suitably covered yet, kids? Come, come, come.
The cubs aren't ready to be taken on walks through the bush. Before that can happen, they must learn to recognize David and the handlers as dominant members of the pride.
In many ways, I'm like the mother, the aunt, the female in the group, let's face it, which is about affection and security, that kind of feeling. The lion handlers that we have are the enforcers. And I don't know whether you want to consider that a male in the pride, more dominant. There's less interaction with the cubs, so that when they get involved, the cubs are just a little bit intimidated, and that means that we can control them to a point. We can certainly try and stop them just disappearing off into the distance. So at the moment, John is providing a brick wall through which we don't want her to go. We want her to come back here. So now she's back, she gets to play. Hello. So she'll be more confident about following.
Every day, the sisters' confidence will grow, and soon they'll be ready to experience their first real walk deep into the wilds of Africa.